the one that truly falls under the quality win category. We're seeing Northwestern being introduced right here. Very young team. What stands out to you about the Wildcats?
You know, I've had
tonight, and for Northwestern, you're going to see these 5 faces a lot because there's not much on the bench behind them for Chris Clemens, who has 8 scholarship players available tonight.
Yeah, 2 guys out with an injury, including freshman point guard Boo Buie, who is really a baller, was just starting to get his groove and scoring the ball from the point guard spot. He's got a stress reaction in his foot. Hopefully he'll be back within the next couple of weeks, but it won't be tonight, and that leaves Northwestern's already short bench even shorter.
Tip controlled by Indiana, and we are underway in Bloomington. Al Durham will bring it up for the Hoosiers. Put it over to Devontae Green. That's somebody they'd like to get going offensively. Green the entry to Trace Jackson Davis. 10 to shoot. The double team comes, and the hook no good. Rebounded by Ryan Young.
Defensive glass is a huge priority for Northwestern. It's been a big problem all season long in Indiana, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country.
On the offensive end for Northwestern, Chris Clemens is going to run very deliberate possessions. They're not going to push the pace too much on the offensive end as Nance's air ball rebounded by Young. The feed to Miller Kopp, who's had the hot hand of late, Seth, almost 20 points per game in the last 3.
Well, Miller Kopp is Northwestern's most dynamic scorer. Try to get him going early tonight. He came on late in that game against Minnesota, hit 3 threes to make it a game late, but not enough.
We Brunk one-on-one against Ryan Young. Now the double comes from Nance. Brunk in some trouble. And a foul going to be called. Brunk got into trouble, but the foul on Pete Nance. Really important for Northwestern tonight to not get into foul trouble. We've talked about the depth already. There's just not much there.
And you saw the double team on the big man. I talked to Chris Clemens earlier today. The whole point of the double team is to protect your big guys from getting into foul trouble. So obviously didn't work there.
Durham. Back it goes to Justin Smith, and a great feed to Trace Jackson Davis. Evened up at 2 apiece. Here comes Pat Spencer.
I think a big priority for Indiana, when they're getting into dribble penetration, instead of going all the way to the rim, get into that mid-range area. You can pass it from there, and there's Miller Kopp with his second bucket of the game. Good early sign.
3 for 6 from deep against Minnesota. He had 14 in the loss on Sunday against the Gophers.
There's that double team again. Got to do it without reaching.
With Trace Jackson Davis, he splits the 2 defenders, gets the bucket, and he'll go to the line for one more.
Nice post in by Trace Jackson Davis. Heralded freshman, does all of his work around the rim. 95% of his shots this season have been either post-ups or around the rim, just like that. Not much range. Completes the 3-point play.
Spencer will walk it up in a tie game. First foul on Ryan Young a moment ago. Miller Kopp, he scored all 5 for Northwestern.
Al Durham saw Miller Kopp getting a little handsy there.
Spencer muscling it inside against Devontae Green.
What a story, Pat Spencer, 4-year All-America lacrosse player. Let me tell you something. This is his first year playing college basketball. He thinks he's the best player on this court. Trust me. It's part of what makes him so good.
Well, he was the best player on the field in lacrosse.
He's just used to it.
Yep. You have a certain feeling. I'm going to be that guy as Durham with a little feeling from behind the arc.
You're Indiana. That's what you want to see. That 3-ball go in. That's an interesting matchup with Nance on Jackson Davis on the perimeter. He's got to put that ball on the deck. Try to get Jackson Davis in foul trouble. Be more aggressive.
Devontae Green starting it up for Indiana. Here's Justin Smith going baseline. And Ryan Young with the board. Spencer to skip to Kopp. Kopp against Green. Boy, Miller Kopp looking strong early. 7 quick points.
Love the confidence. He's putting it on the deck, too, which is not necessarily his forte. More of a catch-and-shoot guy. But he's got good size on him.
Durham trying to turn the corner on Spencer, and the foul's going to be called on the Northwestern point guard. That's his first. Chris Clemens in his 6th year at the helm, or 7th year rather, at the helm of Northwestern. 106 wins in his head coaching career. Trying to cobble together a lineup with 8 scholarship players, and the real problem has been, Seth, the injuries have been in the backcourt. No Boo Buie. You've lost Anthony Gaines for the year with shoulder surgery. You're playing, there's a couple of guys who they'd love to have on the floor right now, but not going to have them out there. So you've got to put some guys in different spots and ask them to do different things and adjust on the fly in the middle of the conference season.
And already one of the youngest teams, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country, at much of a rebuilding year, trying to get your young guys playing experience.
Nance trying to find some room to drive. Nothing there.
And the second defender out. You've got to roll hard off of that.
Shot clock at 8. Spencer. Oh, threads the needle beautifully to Ryan Young.
Trace Jackson Davis falling asleep. That pass shouldn't get there.
With Trace Jackson Davis on the other end, finding Joey Brunk. Brunk can't get it to go. Rebound tipped out of bounds. And it'll belong to Northwestern. Let's go back to that pass again, though, Seth. You're right. It shouldn't have gotten there.
Well, he was in pretty good position, but just not total awareness. And then you see the hard cut. He's right behind him. You can't lose sight of Ryan Young on the baseline like that. That's Jackson Davis' primary responsibility.
Nance will step into a 3. Pinballs out. One-arm rebound for Joey Brunk.
That's part of his game that still needs to develop, but if he ever gets it, look out.
29% from 3 on the year for Nance. The feed big to big. Trace Jackson Davis follows up his own miss with the tip in.
He knows that Pete Nance can't foul him down there, so once he catches it down there, he's done. Pretty good start, though, for Northwestern. They were down by 30 points late in that game to Minnesota. Kind of came back to make it respectable, but 0-4 in the Big Ten.
Barron driving in the middle of the lane. That floater with the left hand goes to a fist pump for the freshman Robbie Barron.
Watched him a lot of shoot around today, Kevin. A really talented 6'9" freshman, highly recruited in the Maryland, D.C. area. Played ball in Richmond.
Justin Smith with the open 3. Real good sign for Indiana. 2 for 2 early from deep.
A lot of made buckets in this game. Was it you in the opener that was talking about how these teams can't shoot?
I think that was Dave Revson and Andy Katz in the studio.
Must have been Dave.
Yeah, couldn't have been us.
Northwestern work clock as much as they can every possession to try to manage pace. On Indiana's transition game going.
Trying to bounce that one to Spencer. An ill-advised pass, and it's taken away. Durham to the other end, coast to coast, and a foul is going to be called on Pete Nance, and that's 2 on Nance. A big moment.
7 in the first half.
Aljamain Durham on for 2 free throws as A.J. Turner checks in. He did not play in the Minnesota game at a bruised thigh, but is back out there now, and they're going to need his minutes, and they'd love to see his scoring. Averaged 9 points a game last year. Has not scored in double figures in any game this year. The scoring average set down 5 points per game for A.J. Turner.
Yeah, and how about his sophomore year at Boston College before he transferred? 37% from 3 this season, 4 for 28.
Not a lot of defense early on in this one with Indiana up 4. Both teams combining to shoot 61%. And that'll go up on the easy 2 for Ryan Young.
I mean, can you imagine Archie Miller working on that press in practice? For them to give a full court pass layup to Ryan Young for an easy layup. I mean, that's terrible.
Justin Smith trying to pass out of the double team, and it's taken away by Robbie Barron.
Archie might add a modifier before the word terrible on that. And smart of Indiana to try to put some pressure. Indiana's one of the deepest teams in the country.
They'll play all 11 tonight, as is the norm. Tough catch there for Young. 10 to shoot. Turner on the attack. Left that one just a bit short. And the rebound, Race Thompson. Comes Rob Finnessy. Keep your eyes on Finnessy. This is a guy that Archie Miller knows he needs to get jump started. He's running the point. He's commanding this team.
If there's one guy in Indiana who needs to get it going for conference play, it's Rob Finnessy. Doesn't have the mental confidence. You know, guys can get healthy. Guys can be okay to play, as you see Joey Brunk with the and one. But first of all, you might be physically able to play, but still not be at the strength that you were beforehand. And then the last is the mental piece, as you see the nice, simple screen and roll there. Brunk is a very strong kid finishing, and this is why Indiana leads the nation in free throw attempts per game. very good job attacking the glass and dumping it inside the front from Jackson Davis.
It's a really interesting matchup because Indiana gets to the line about 30 times a game here in Bloomington. On the year, Northwestern only allows about 15 free throw attempts per game. They're traditionally a very clean, not fouling a lot team, and so far, so good for Indiana. They've been to the line 6 times, and they've hit all 6.
And the percentage is not great, Indiana's, either from the line. So they're getting there a lot, but not converting.
Just 56% over the last 3 games for the Hoosiers. Kopp a little up and under move. And Kopp's first errant shot. He's 3 for 4 tonight. On Franklin, the kick to Rob Finney. An open 3. But I don't know that Archie Miller's going to be unhappy with that one because he caught it and was ready to shoot. A big emphasis today at practice earlier.
Big time. Spreading it, driving it, kicking it.
And then Finney makes a good defensive play. Finney one-on-one, and Ryan Greer with the foul, his first. And that's what they want to see from Rob Finney. The energy, the spark, the defense, and then ready to shoot on the offensive end.
Yeah, he's their best on-ball defender as well. So he's a very important player for them at both ends of the floor, but it's incumbent on him to prove that he deserves those minutes. He'll get there. He'll get there because he has to.
Hurt early in the year. He's healthy now physically. It's just a matter of getting him back fully confident on both ends of the floor from a mental standpoint.
He's a 2-3 zone from Northwestern. Trying to force Indiana to make jump shots.
The lob inside to Trace Jackson Davis, a little too far on the lob, and then out of bounds. Jared Jones trying to keep it in play, and he dribbled out of bounds, and discussing it with Steve McJunkins, who says, I was right here, I saw it.
You shouldn't win those discussions. Nice play by Race Thompson. Active hands, not give up on the rebound.
Yes.
Indiana will bring Jerome Hunter onto the floor. Justin Smith will get a breather. Discussion was, what should the shot clock be set at? It's set to 20.
Which is the new rule, which I like. Speeds things up a little bit. Some of us have flights to catch.
You're a busy man. Race Thompson, good ball movement inside, just couldn't cash in, but Thompson able to pluck it for a second chance. Or I guess in this case, a third chance.
That's a couple of times that Jackson Davis has made a nice pass that hasn't converted. He's only got 11 assists on the season coming into tonight. I think that's a part of his game that he could really improve upon. He draws so much attention from the opposing defense.
Franklin with the 3. And another rebound, Trace Jackson Davis.
Puts it out for the 3-point shot. He should get that offensive rebound. If he's not going to score, he should be pitching it right out.
And Finney stepped out of bounds. That narrow corner causing problems still in college timeout, but the Hoosiers have stretched the lead to 5 thanks to a perfect night at the line, 6 of 6 from the charity stripe. A.J. Turner will bring it up. Back off the thigh bruise that kept him out of the Minnesota loss on Sunday. Nance back on the floor as well, Seth, with 2 fouls.
We were just talking at the commercial, how long does Chris Collins wait? I thought he waited a little bit longer than that.
Good hands by Race Thompson again. The ball loose. Thompson, was he the last to touch it? Won't matter because A.J. Turner chased it down and was the last to get it.
So that's 4 turnovers now for Northwestern. They lead the Big Ten in fewest per game.
Good look there from our cameras. See the foot out clearly. Nance will now sit down, so a little offensive infusion off the timeout, but now Nance leaves to avoid picking up that 3rd foul. Good hands by Robbie Barron.
You know, a lot of what Chris Collins is doing with these games, obviously he wants to win as many as he can, but he knows he's got a young team that he's trying to kind of start from scratch a little bit, rebuilding class by class. It can be a painful process for someone who's as proud and competitive as Chris is. So what he's doing with Pete Nance is not only trying to win at Indiana, but he's trying to teach him how to play with 2 fouls.
Robbie Barron getting the chance to play a different position with these injuries. A little more wing action for Robbie Barron.
Northwestern has played well at times. I mean, they played Michigan State tough at home. They played DePaul tough on the road.
Beat Providence.
Beat Boston College, which last night beat Virginia. So they've had their moments when things have gone well. I just worry with a young team about their confidence once those losses start to pile up.
3 to shoot. Thompson has to get it over to Franklin. Franklin on the baseline, not going to get a shot up. Good defense by the Wildcats, and the turnover back to Northwestern. 4th one tonight for Indiana.
Can't do it any better than that. Everybody staying home, and Indiana unable to penetrate the zone.
Northwestern back to work. Miller Kopp got him off to the fast start. He's been quiet over the last few minutes. They'll work it down to Ryan Young. One-on-one against Trace Jackson Davis, and a couple of freshmen battling underneath, and Jackson Davis gets the better of the Northwestern freshman. Here's Hunter. Durham with 7 early points for Indiana.
One way or another, Indiana's got to try to get it to the high post. Maybe set an inside screen on one of those top defenders and try to turn the corner.
This defense is giving Indiana fits right now. Hunter will launch and bank it home from deep. Just his 4th made 3 in 24 attempts this year.
Does that count? Does that still count?
It does. Bank stays open late in Bloomington. Nice feed from Kopp to Spencer. Breaks a drought of almost 5 minutes.
Rob Finney, where did he go? Can't turn your back on Pat Spencer.
6-point game.
He is some athlete, Spencer.
Smith running hook off the rim.
Northwestern just trying to keep contact here.
Barron trying to turn the corner. Found Turner a little short, and Hunter starts it up for Indiana.
Northwestern's got to get Kopp some looks and let him cool off.
Durham, the long to Trace Jackson Davis. Bringing down the house with a little alley-oop. Spencer fouled on the floor by Finney. That'll be his first. Let's go back to the alley-oop. It's a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
Al Durham finds his freshman teammate. Not a lot of resistance at the top of the zone because they gave him so much room, packing it in, waiting for the outside shot. Instead of settling for the shot, Durham attacks. Jackson Davis slipped behind.
What a talent. Trace Jackson Davis. Spencer staying with it, banks it home.
We were saying earlier today that Jackson Davis actually reminds me a lot of Ethan Happ at Wisconsin. Much better free throw shooter, a little bit of a better athlete, but does all the scoring around the rim. Yet he's still mighty effective.
Archie Miller so bullish on that youngster. He said he's got another level to go. And he says we're trying to avoid that January wall. A lot of freshmen hit that January wall. We don't want to see him do it. And he goes, he's got another step he's going to take in his development this year.
Well, you know, he's obviously a very talented high school player, big-time recruit. Bloodlines with his father, Dale Davis, playing in the NBA. Another Northwestern turnover, but Jackson Davis is the best freshman in the Big Ten. And I would argue that he's the freshman perhaps with the most responsibilities in the Big Ten. We'll see what happens when Bowie comes back from Northwestern, but a lot on this young man's shoulders. In-state kid, highly regarded recruit. Fans in Indiana tend to be rather passionate, wanting immediate results, as fans tend to want to do.
Battling for the rebound, it caroms to Deron Davis, and a second chance again for Indiana. And a travel turns it back over to Northwestern. That's 6 turnovers for IU in this first half.
Yeah, that's definitely been a story of the first half, is all the turnovers. Northwestern has 5. I mentioned they only average 11. And how about the foul count? Indiana's only committed 1 foul. So you're doing a good job forcing some turnovers and holding down the field goals and not fouling. That's really good. And by the way, Indiana they have not played 1 possession of zone all season.
Top. Good hands by Durham to bat it away.
Just active. Just active. You know what? You lose 2 in a row and you're coming back home. This is how you should be playing.
And another Northwestern turnover. Can't cough it up. Live ball turnover. Durham to the other end. Puts it over the rim and in.
Early danger zone for Northwestern.
Indiana playing with confidence right now. Shooting 53% from the floor.
Miller Kopp has not had a look at the basket since making those couple early on.
Barron trying to get it going, and he collides with Justin Smith. And that'll be the second foul on the Hoosiers.
I mean, Kopp is not, I'm sitting there watching him in their half court. He's not making it easy on himself. He doesn't move enough. I mean, if you're Indiana, you know you got to take him out first and foremost. He's their leading scorer and best outside shooter.
Oh, great feed and a good find. Ryan Young with the finish.
There's that blob. Well done.
8-point advantage for Indiana.
Northwestern right there. Down 8 with 6 in the first half. I think Chris would have taken that. Coming in. Nothing from Clemens back out there with his 2 fouls. He cannot get his third.
Durham, the 3 from the corner. Off the side of the backboard to Ryan Young.
And if you're Indiana, when you see Nance guarding Trace Jackson Davis, that's where you got to go.
Spencer backs it out. Here's Nance against Deron Davis. And that one just won't fall for Pete Nance. 4 for 12 in the loss to Minnesota with just 8 points for Pete Nance and a foul on Ryan Young on the other end.
See, I'd rather Pete Nance take it at Davis and get blocked than that kind of move. Because first of all, you're probably going to get fouled. And it's just the mentality of being on the attack. 6'10", long and bouncy.
Second foul on Young creates bigger problems for the bigs of Northwestern. Now Nance and Young each with a pair.
Well, if you can get to halftime with either of those guys staying at 2 and not getting their third, that's a win.
Spencer able to track down the Davis miss on the front end. Still an 8-point game. Tough catch for Jared Jones.
Miller Kopp wide open.
And Nance staying with it to get the offensive board.
You can enter it in the post and the defense collapse on that. Miller Kopp was wide open on the weak side. They've got to get him to touch it.
Spencer lost it on the way up with a foul.
For a player like Kopp, it's just you need to feel the leather. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if he's going to give it up again, he needs to feel the leather.
Deron Davis with his first. Third team foul on Indiana, sending Pat Spencer to the line.
Talked to Chris Collins for a while today about Pat Spencer. You know, he'd never seen him play basketball. Obviously the best lacrosse player in America, one of the best in the world, really, 4-year All-American. And when he wasn't playing lacrosse, you know, his lacrosse coaches wouldn't have to give him an off-season conditioning program because they just knew that he was playing pickup basketball all the time. And so it was the attitude, the cocky attitude that Chris Collins heard, and he knew he'd have a young team, bring in an older guy. And he was just better than anyone quite realized.
Yeah, St. Joe's was really the only other school in the mix for his basketball services. And talking with Chris earlier today, said, you got to understand, Pat Spencer was the LeBron James of lacrosse. He could show up, flip the switch, and be better than everybody else on the field. It's not necessarily the case in basketball. He's had a little more of a learning curve in this sport.
Nice way of saying he might not have the most intense practice habits of any player that they've had. Oh, that was, oh, I thought that was clearly a block.
No call either way, and the turnover back. We'll look at it again.
Let's see if he got there in time. I don't think he got there in time.
And then it may have gone off the leg of Jared Jones to boot. Here's Turner off the screen. 4-3, and A.J. Turner. He has struggled mightily from behind the arc this year. 5 for 29 as he brings Northwestern within 3.
How about the Northwestern Wildcats taking a punch here this evening?
Smith trying to find the answer, but the hands of Turner knocked it away. Ryan Greer navigating up the floor. And all alone underneath is Robbie Barron. 1-point game in Bloomington.
Al Durham fell down. Archie's going to wait for the under 4 media timeout. Indiana's done a lot of hard work tonight. Been squandered the last couple of minutes. And it's amazing what happens when the ball goes in. And now we got a guy dropping the ball through his hands.
8th turnover, and Northwestern with a chance to extend a 9-0 run and take a lead after being down by 10.
I mean, that's just Justin Smith dropping a pass. Give Northwestern credit. You know, they have shown a lot of spunk this season, Kevin. I mentioned about Minnesota. They were down 30 late in the game, and they came back and fought back at least. Obviously, they weren't going to win that game. Indiana better lace them up a little tighter.
Turner on the drive, all the way to the rim for the lead for the Wildcats.
Boy, if A.J. Turner can get going offensively for Northwestern, that's going to be a game changer because he can stretch the defense, he can put it on the deck, he can pass it. He's been a shell of himself for most of the season. Great couple of minutes for him.
Again, no games in double figures this year as Demezy Anderson tries the 3. That won't go. 11-0 run for Northwestern. 3:35 to go in the first half, and the Cats have come all the way back from down 29-19 to grab the lead.
You can just feel the queasy feeling in this gym. Indiana fans. Offensive problems continue.
Scoring drought for 3.5 minutes as Finney tries to find room, and a double dribble. A turnover again for the Hoosiers.
Big man again inside Robbie Barron.
Kopp will try the 3. Not going to go. The rebound, Devontae Green.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Collins threw that up for Kopp out of the timeout. He was on the bench during that big run.
Good save by Joey Bronk. 2 points and 5 turnovers since the 8:58 mark in the first half for Indiana. The offensive woes rearing their ugly head again for the Hoosiers.
I mean, if you don't have strong guard play, or at least really good guard play, it's just hard to win.
Shot clock's at 3. They're going to have to hurry. Devontae Green launching from deep. Won't go, and the rebound to Barron.
I mean, that's just nothing on that offensive possession, and I don't know that Northwestern is doing anything super complicated. It's just they don't really respect Indiana's shooters, but you've got to find a way to penetrate that zone one way or another.
Not a surprise to Archie Miller. He said he knew that they're going to pack that zone in and dare us to shoot over it. Started okay, but things have turned for the worse. Here's Greer on the drive. Won't go. Barron reaching around to try to get that loose ball, and a foul is going to be called on Robbie Barron.
It's a foul on Robbie Barron, but you can see how aggressive Northwestern is at attacking Indiana's defense off the dribble. And I think that's what Indiana's got to do more of on the other end of the floor. Got them on their heels right now, kind of looking at each other saying, well, who's going to take the reins?
Another problem, though, for Northwestern, Seth, because that's 2 on Barron, 2 on Nance, 2 on Young. Again, there's only 8 scholarship players available tonight for Chris Collins. And a 1-on-1 opportunity for Devontae Green.
If you're Northwestern and you can get to halftime with nobody having 3 fouls, that's a win.
It's just a good thing for Chris Collins. There is no limit to the substitutions that he can make.
It's not soccer.
No.
You can only do it once in baseball, right?
Yeah. Once you're out, you're out. Chris Collins is going to be moving the pieces around like crazy here in the final 2:06 of this first half. One more for Devontae Green. Indiana 7 of 8 at the line. They shoot nearly 30 free throws per game here at home. Northwestern has allowed only 15 per game on the year, so Indiana pacing in the general direction of where they are at home. A little bit shy of that, but certainly above where Northwestern usually allows. Spencer looking to attack. Rejected by Devontae Green. Big defensive play by the senior. It's Green to the other end. The scoop won't go. Long rebound tipped out to Spencer. Now Spencer on the run. Gives it off to Miller. Kopp on the drive. A lot of contact. No whistle either way. And it'll belong to Indiana.
You love the aggressiveness and you love the defense by Devontae Green, but taking it 1-on-4 full court, which is not a high percentage shot.
Coming up, the State Farm halftime report. Dave Revson and Andy Katz break down the first half and preview the second half of the Super Wednesday doubleheader between the Illini and Badgers. All that coming up and more on the State Farm halftime report.
Hoosiers need a bucket. Maybe get something to Joey Brunk. Northwestern now in man-to-man. Kind of a curious switch there, and that's Pete Nance with his third.
Well, so much for getting to halftime with none of those guys grabbing their third. That's not the foul that Chris Collins was looking for Nance to pick up his third. He'll send Trace Jackson-Davis to the line for a 1-and-1.
I mean, the zone's been working, and you're worried about foul trouble, and that's just kind of a curious switch.
A lot of foul trouble for this thin Northwestern team. Nance with 3, Young 2, Barron 2. Trace Jackson-Davis into double figures with 10 points. Another miss at the line. 8 for 11 are the Hoosiers in this first half. 1-point lead for Indiana. They've led by as much as 10.
It is tense in this building. I think Indiana fans are having fun tonight.
Jones launching the quick 3 and the rebound to Justin Smith. Jared Jones 1 of 7 from 3 this year. And a big collision. That's an offensive foul on Justin Smith, and that is number 2. Here comes Pat Spencer for the Wildcats.
For Indiana, you're looking for leadership. I mean, that foul by Justin Smith was just a frustration foul, trying to make something happen that's not there.
Miller Kopp trying to get it to Jones, and it'll stay with Northwestern. 14 to shoot.
See, Indiana's really keying on Miller Kopp right now.
Had the hot start, 7 points in the first 4 minutes, and has not had a point since.
Part of his learning curve is to use that against. If there's 2 guys on you, somebody's open. Either throw it to the guy that's not being covered or throw it to someone who can throw it to that guy. Now he's coming off that screen. He's got his man open inside. Beautiful. Make him pay.
Jared Jones elevating for the flush, and Northwestern by 1, closing in on halftime. About a 2-second difference between game and shot clock here to close this first half. Indiana can, for the most part, burn the rest of this clock. 8 to shoot. And it's taken away. Spencer with the hands, and a foul by Finney. That's a good foul by Finney. Indiana with fouls to give, but it's his second personal foul.
Jackson-Davis came to set a screen. Finney thought he was coming to catch the ball, just not in sync.
Armand Franklin will check in for Rob Finney. 6.7 seconds until halftime, and A.J. Turner will inbound for Northwestern. Spencer driving. Spencer to the rim, and a foul is called with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Pat Spencer's always on the attack. Not always sure where he's going. Not always sure what he's going to do when he gets there, but like a lacrosse player streaking down the floor, knowing that he's going to get hit. Finding space and attacking it.
But not worried about getting hit, much like a lacrosse player. First foul on Jerome Hunter, and Spencer with 1 more.
Well, you're not wearing pads, so if you get hit, but the guy hitting you is not wearing pads either, right?
As long as they're not hitting the broadcaster, Seth, I'm good.
That's right. I'm right behind you, Kev.
Yes, yeah, way behind me. Sprinting for the exit.
Gail, our stage manager, I'll be right behind her.
Gail will throw each of us to the wolves.
A variety of players, especially Jackson-Davis and Justin Smith, who can do that. But the main thing is leadership.
There's Durham hoisting it at the buzzer. It will not go. Indiana ends the half.
Miller wants to do in that locker room. Which player in the Indiana locker room grabbed everybody by the scruff of their necks and say, hey, we are not going down tonight. This is not going to happen. Northwestern has been the more lively, more aggressive team, and right away they go inside to Ryan Young. So Indiana's got to answer Northwestern's aggression. I don't think the Wildcats are going away. At the way they're playing tonight, but more importantly, the style and their pace, it's not going to be easy to run them out of this gym. Indiana's going to have to do it possession by possession, and already starting off with a missed mid-range jump shot.
Coaches look at games in 4-minute segments. This first 4-minute segment feels like a really big 4 minutes to set a tone one way or the other in this game.
And if you're Indiana, I think you got to get back to your identity, get back to your bread and butter, and that's Jackson Davis and Joey Brunk. Joey Brunk has been very quiet tonight, not a whole lot of touches, only one made field goal, 3 points and 4 rebounds. I think maybe you want to get him established in the post, try to get some foul trouble on that Northwestern front line, and then go from there. Get it back a little bit at a time as opposed to trying to jack up a bunch of shots. It's only a 5-point deficit, but you can feel the discomfort in this arena right now.
First foul on Devontae Green as Spencer misses the first free throw. Northwestern not really lighting it up. They're 2 of 8 from three-point land. They're 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
Starting off in a man-to-man.
Under to Joey Brunk inside. The defense collapsing on Brunk, but didn't matter to him.
Yeah, that's where you got to go. Start there and build out.
With the success Indiana had on that possession, how long does Northwestern stay man-to-man? They had good success against Indiana with that zone in the first half.
A big reason why Chris Collins makes these defensive calls is not always what's working so much as just wanting to keep switching things up, keep the other team off guard. You don't want to give them the same look for 40 minutes, but there's no question that their zone is working much better with their man. And here's got a mismatch with Spencer.
Spencer missing everything, though. That'll be a shot clock violation. Spencer got by Brunk, just couldn't finish at the rim.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind that for Northwestern because you saw the mismatch, and now the fans are getting on their feet. Help your boys out.
Indiana back to work. Down by 4 at home, second half to Northwestern. 8 to shoot. Smith will launch.
Yeah, I'd rather him dump it into Jackson Davis on that possession. He had him. Had Barron on his back.
Indiana 3 of 11, now 27% from 3. Barron drives, lost the ball. Nice save by Joey Brunk on
Great
the dive.
pass.
Ahead to Smith for the flush.
Great pass by Devontae Green.
See if that sparks this Hoosier offense.
Archie Miller talked about it today at shoot-around. If you're not scoring in your half court, get offense off your defense.
Kopp.
What a great offensive set.
His first point since very early in the first half when he exploded for 7 quick.
I love it when point guards post.
Entry pass to Jackson Davis. Double team comes. Left hand hook won't fall, but he's going to head to the free throw line for a pair. Last trip down the floor, Devontae Green with a terrific feed.
Yeah, nice poke away by Durham there. Created a turnover. Justin Smith running the floor and Green feeding him. What I like even better is going to Jackson Davis in the post in the half-court set.
What you don't like if you're a Northwestern fan, that was foul number 3 on Robbie Barron. Checking in will be Pete Nance, who also has 3 fouls. A thin Northwestern team with major foul trouble up front.
Which is why you got to feed the post, feed the post, feed the post. Not real complicated if you're not a good three-point shooting team.
Indiana has not been of late in conference play, especially 24.6% entering play from 3 to 27% tonight.
Here comes the full court pressure. Kind of a soft 1-2-2.
Back out to Spencer. Shot clock at 12 for Turner. Here's Nance against Jackson Davis. Turns into the paint. Jackson Davis says no. Durham the other way. On the run. Step through and a turnover.
Nothing there. Nothing there. Look, Northwestern knows that they can't allow transition baskets. They're not sending anybody to the offensive glass. You're trying to dribble it through 4 purple shirts. Pull it out. Run your offense.
Kopp to the elbow. Defense swarms him immediately.
That basketball is very valuable.
Kopp on the baseline, short. Bronk will start it the other way.
Don't have the numbers, but you've got Pete Nance with 3 fouls guarding Trace Jackson Davis.
Get it into it. Green, the fadeaway jumper rims out, and a foul underneath as Justin Smith went up for the ball. Miller Kopp commits the personal foul. That's his first and the team's second.
Well, I guarantee another message that Archie Miller had for his guys was hitting the offensive glass. They only got 5 misses off of 20 missed field goals in the first half. 5 offensive rebounds. That's 25%. Which is really not good for a team that's 12th in the country in offensive rebound percentage.
And only 2 second chance points off those 5 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, this to me, like, if shots aren't falling, it's hard to score, but that's not the only way to be able to score. You can do it with your defense, you can do it from the foul line, and you can do it from the offensive glass. That, to me, is the differentiator between a really good team and a just good team. Can you play well when you're not playing well? Can you play well when the shots aren't falling? That's what Indiana's got to do right now.
Not falling in the second half to start, just 2 for 6. Tough catch for Ryan Young. Has to back it out to Nance for the 3, and it goes down for Pete Nance.
Great recognition by Ryan Young. Had 2 guys on his back instead of forcing it. Throw it out to the open shooter. Northwestern's half-court offensive sets have been really on point tonight.
And a foul on Ryan Young, and that'll be number 3 on Young. 3 on Young, 3 on Nance.
Turns 3 bigs all have 3 fouls. What does that mean? First of all, they can't play great defense on you because they don't want to pick up the 4th. And second of all, they might pick up the 4th. And when you're not making threes and you've got your bigs, that's where you got to go.
What it means also is more time for true freshman Jared Jones for Northwestern. Shot clock's at 3. Durham's got to hurry. The dump to Trace Jackson Davis right before the shot clock goes off.
Beautiful play by Durham. One of the few times we've seen guard penetration in the zone.
First field goal attempt since 8:59 in the first half for Trace Jackson Davis. Just 15 attempts in his last 3 halves of basketball, plus the start of this half.
Great offensive set. I know he missed the shot, but boy, they've been pinpoint on those sets tonight.
Finney got 2 fouls in the first half. He's going back to work here, and that's a travel on Joey Brunk. Unforced error for the Hoosiers and their 13th turnover of the ballgame. We pause here because you can hear the silence here at Assembly Hall. And it is just an absolute tense situation.
And I mean, I love fans, but this is when your team needs you to get up and make noise.
Good feed to Turner, and A.J. Turner making his presence felt. He's got 7.
Another great half-court offensive set for Northwestern, putting on a clinic.
Richie Miller said, when we were talking about Northwestern's offense, Chris always runs good stuff. You're always worried about what he runs, regardless of the personnel. We've seen several good offensive sets tonight from Northwestern to get points on the board. Step back for Jerome Hunter. Wild shot. Indiana fortunate to get a second chance.
No Brunk in the game right now, so Jackson Davis is their only post guy. And look where he's taking it. And there's the double, and he still gets fouled.
And that's on Nance. That's his 4th.
They got the good result, even though it wasn't a true post. And again, that's Pete Nance. Just, you can't do it. You can't get your 4th foul at that spot on the floor. He's the defender coming over for the double team. The whole point of double team is to protect the initial defender from having to commit the foul. So that's something that Pete Nance is going to learn moving forward, because he is a very talented guy.
1 for 7 from the floor tonight for Nance, and he sits down with 4 fouls.
He's had some good looks, too.
There's Durham. And again, a turnover for Indiana. 14th turnover of the night. A.J. Turner will push it to Spencer. Spencer to the rim with a flush.
Oh, my goodness.
And a timeout.
Was as an attacker, and that's what he did. He just didn't hesitate. Maybe he was going to get a charge. And sometimes, oftentimes this season, Pat Spencer has dribbled himself into trouble, but he's always been on the attack, and that has become contagious.
Devontae Green nowhere to go with it. Shot clock winding to 10 as Justin Smith gets a touch. Smith into the paint. The hook not going to go. There's Spencer with a rebound. He'll push it up the floor. Miller Kopp trying to find some room. Can't get around Jerome Hunter. Barron now with 10 on the shot clock.
See how much time they take. The 7-point lead feels like 14.
Spencer in trouble now. 3 to shoot, and a ball underneath to Robbie Barron for an easy 2. How did he see him?
Justin Smith lost his man. Cardinal sin. Know where your man is. Ball you man.
Indiana desperate for a bucket, and that'll be a foul on Jared Jones. 15th foul, first on Jones.
Well, you see Justin Smith right there. He's worried about Pat Spencer. Just turns his head. Where did he go? That's a basic fundamental of the game. But again, Northwestern's half-court sets have just been spectacular tonight.
Fine for Justin Smith. The defense collapsing on him, and Smith will go to the line.
Well, we're going to see what the Indiana Hoosiers are made of these last 12 minutes and 20 seconds. You're at home, your backs are against the wall. Band together, claw your way out.
Trailed by 3 at half. Northwestern has expanded on that lead in the first 8 minutes. 6 fouls for Northwestern to 1 for Indiana. So a lot of free throw opportunities likely down the stretch for the Hoosiers. Later tonight on BTN, the Big Show delivers hoops highlights, post-game interviews, and expert analysis, plus all the news and notes from around the conference. Don't miss the Big Show tonight at midnight Eastern on BTN and the Fox Sports app. Hoosiers 10 of 14 at the line, trying to break a 6-0 mini run for the Wildcats.
Plenty of time on that scoreboard. So Indiana's got to stay patient. And Northwestern will test your patience. And normally in the situation, Kevin, I would counsel the team that's ahead, hey, don't take your foot off the accelerator. But the way that Northwestern plays, they're very comfortable playing a deliberate style. So it's kind of a closeout type of system that they run all 40 minutes, similar to Virginia. Play with pace, take care of the ball.
Armon Franklin with his first, team's second. Race Thompson returns for Indiana, and Justin Smith sits down.
So you're waiting for that offensive spark for Indiana. You know, Franklin provided that for them against Notre Dame. He had 17 points in that game.
Where will it come from tonight? So far, that hasn't arrived. As Spencer turns around and gets an easy 2 against Devontae Green, and Spencer with 15.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of time left, but I've been watching a lot of Northwestern this season. This has got to be the best game that Pat Spencer's played, given the circumstances. It's on the road.
Well, he's put back-to-back good games together now after he'd gone into that mini slump. Was out of the starting lineup for a couple of games. The hook shot for Thompson not going to go. Brooks saves it and rejected by Jared Jones.
Big-time defensive play by Jones, the freshman. Good job by Green getting back.
Spencer trying to post him. The kick out to Barron for a deep 3. And the rebound, Devontae Green.
Boy, I love that look with Pat Spencer posting up, because he can score from there, but he's still a point guard, and that's a great place to make a pass.
Open 3, Devontae Green. It will not go. The rebound tipped to Brooks. That won't go, and it's out of bounds to Indiana. Timeout on the floor. 11:04 remaining in the second half. Northwestern trying to stun the Hoosiers.
Missed field goals. 10 out of 28 is a very low percentage. And also what's interesting is Indiana has 14 turnovers, but Northwestern only has 4 steals. So those are bad turnovers. Those are unforced turnovers. And Indiana's back on their heels.
Another missed 3 for the Hoosiers. Now 3 of 13 from deep.
Today's game, if you don't have quality guard play and you can't make 3-pointers, you're going to be running uphill a lot.
And Young fouled on the floor by Race Thompson.
Interesting. I thought he may have walked.
First foul on Thompson. That's the third team foul. Let's watch it again.
Moved into him a little bit. Close. Who am I to criticize, Kevin?
No, I know. You never would.
I would never criticize an official. I actually defend officials more than most. You know why? I don't want to be one.
No.
I'm glad they're out there and I'm not.
Young trying to fit it in to Barron. It's tipped into the backcourt. Northwestern's going to have to hurry. Shot clock to 4.
Barron was open, though.
Turner leaning in. That one way off the mark, and that's a shot clock violation. No chance for Turner there. Had to get a shot up. And good defense by Indiana. Now, can they convert on this end? Turning defense into offense. One of the big stress points for Archie Miller with this team earlier today.
Well, Green is not out there, so you don't have any three-point shooting, really. You've got Jackson Davis and Brunk. One of those guys a post touch.
Here's Franklin. He'll try the 3. Wild shot. Offensive rebound, Justin Smith.
He missed Jackson Davis in the paint.
Franklin will attack. Feeds Smith. Lost the handle. Fade away on the baseline. Falls for Justin Smith. Probably not exactly how Archie Miller drew it up, but it counts just the same.
Good shot, though. A little energy now in Assembly Hall.
And listen to you, Seth. They're trying to rally behind their team.
I see on Twitter, people are saying, well, what's there to cheer about? Well, it's easy to cheer when your team's doing well.
And Kopp commits the foul to break up the run out for Justin Smith. It'll send him to the line for the 1-and-1. Second on Miller Kopp.
I mean, this is when your players need your fans' energy. They need to be picked up by the fans. I feel like the fans tonight have been understandably unsettled.
And more a reflection probably of what Indiana has been doing offensively over the last 3 games. And now into tonight.
Adds to the nervousness these young kids must be feeling.
Indiana's male scholar athlete in the month of January, Justin Smith, with one more free throw to come. He was on Archie Miller's radio show earlier in the week and said one of his biggest challenges, Seth, is they need a vocal leader, and he's a quiet guy. He says, I'm trying to force myself into more of a vocal role for this Indiana team. It's not easy to do if that's not in your makeup.
Well, and it's generally a quiet team, and then, of course, that's a reflection of how well you're playing.
A.J. Turner off to Spencer. Spencer, a little runner, and the rebound to Trace Jackson Davis. All right, Indiana down 7.
I'm surprised Spencer didn't take that to the rim. He had it open.
Call a foul on Robbie Barron, and that's number 4 on Barron. Major foul trouble if you're just joining us for Northwestern in the post. Nance and Barron each with 4, Ryan Young with 3.
And I'm not sure what Barron did there. He's running back. Durham did a good job initiating contact and kind of did that head bob that apparently you're not allowed to do. I mean, Barron's just moving his feet.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get if you're Robbie Barron.
I mean, I thought he was in legal guarding position, but give Durham credit for initiating the contact and give Indiana credit for cashing some checks at the foul line. Now 13-5 advantage from free throws made, 14-5. But they've done that.
And the Cats haven't scored in 3 minutes, and the 10-point lead has been cut in half. And here comes the crowd in Bloomington.
Runs all over Spencer. Do it without fouling.
Ten to shoot for Kopp. Kopp in trouble. Turnaround jumper, no. Broke the rebound. Indiana looking to push. Franklin on the move. The bounce underneath, and he misses the layup, but the tip falls. And a timeout.
Last few minutes.
Spencer again working against Durham.
Green and Finney both on the bench. Bother him without fouling him.
They missed Durham in that Arkansas game when he was ejected with flagrant 2.
Great point.
You see his presence out there on this end of the floor especially. Kopp from the elbow forced that one up, and Brunk catching the air ball. Here comes Durham the other way. Justin Smith And a foul away from the ball going against Trace Jackson-Davis. His first, team's fourth.
I think he may have bumped a cutter. That's a big point of emphasis. Oh, no, he's... Yeah, there it is.
Push right there. Went up high with the arm, and
it's a foul every time. He makes it easy for the referee. He had the arm there, which was close enough, but and Archie wants a hook and hold, which I didn't quite see.
I don't think there was a hook and hold there.
Did you see the way that Indiana's playing defense these last few minutes? I mean, a guy like Archie Miller, who prides himself on competitiveness. Here we go.
And there's a foul on Spencer, bumping Durham. Second on Spencer. And for Northwestern, a 9th team foul.
Now, fortunately, that's only his first.
And it didn't turn into points at the other end for Northwestern.
And you know what? I'll give the officials credit on this. Archie Miller could have been teed up. He was absolutely irate about it. And they let him go a little bit. Terry Weimer, very veteran official, 5 Final Fours, 3 championship games. He was not on the call, but he stepped into Archie and kind of put him back in the box and got him out of that situation. But they blew that call. But the energy from Indiana, it's a totally different basketball team right now.
8-0 run. Look at the Tire take the lead. Durham turn in the corner, and he'll go to the line. Look at the tie it there.
And Durham, for me, has been the MVP these last few minutes. You want to look for leadership? We talked about being vocal. You don't always have to be vocal. If you just play the hardest, I love his body language right now. He is ticked off.
And he's woken up this whole team with his effort.
Right.
That's 10 team fouls, by the way, on Northwestern.
He's opening up a can of Patrick Beverly.
One more to go
on these guys.
For Durham. Coming up on BTN, Kofi Coburn leads the Illini against Nate Reavers and the Badgers. Big Ten Super Wednesday, presented by U.S. Cellular, continues next only on BTN and the Fox Sports app. We're tied in Bloomington with 7:38 to go. A 10-0 Indiana run. And what a time for it for the Hoosiers.
Said a few minutes, we're going to find out what this team is made of.
Here's Turner trying to get it back for Northwestern, and Trace Jackson-Davis says no way. Franklin the other way for the lead, and it's rejected by Jared Jones. Teams exchanging rejections. And now sideline out of bounds, Miller Kopp. Those narrow corners with the expanded three-point line has caused problems all across the game this year for players on the sidelines.
My message to Armand Franklin, make the easy play.
A 50-50 game. Not sure we thought it'd be a 50-50 game coming in.
Finney and Green are on the bench for Indiana and have been for quite some time.
9 to shoot for Armand Franklin.
Go to the post.
Smith, look at baseline, blocked off. Brooks got to get something up. Fade away for the big man, won't go. Good defense by Northwestern.
And he had Trace Jackson-Davis wide open in the high post. Joey Brunk, a one dribble pull-up.
6.5 to go in Bloomington. Cats looking for their first Big Ten win. Pass deflected, then a collision between Justin Smith and Joey Brunk.
Great activity defensively for Indiana. Northwestern's got to get Pat Spencer going downhill. Got to get Durham off him.
Durham's been such a calming influence as well as the spark. Nice combination. Turn in the corner. Durham for the lead. Won't go. Brunk can't keep it in play. Back in comes Robbie Barron for Northwestern.
Let's see what they run for Spencer. Maybe I'd love to see, if you're Northwestern, get some dribble penetration from Spencer and then get an open look for Kopp and maybe Turner. But first you got to run some clock. Durham's going to go to the bench. He's tired.
A lot of foul trouble for this Northwestern team, especially in the post. Nance and Barron each with 4, Young with 3.
And we have Finney on Spencer.
15 to shoot. Boy, Spencer's had to work with every dribble in this second half. 10 on the shot clock. And a foul is going to be called on Rob Finnessy.
Nickel dimer.
Raph will send you a bill for that one. 5:38 remaining in this second half. Still tied at 50 apiece. Northwestern 0 for their last 6. They've not scored in 6 minutes and 21 seconds. Turner's pass tipped out of bounds by Franklin. Nothing on the board since the 11:59 mark for Northwestern. And yet they're tied on the road in Bloomington. Turner can't turn the corner on Franklin, so he'll shoot over Franklin.
A.J. Turner, where have you been all my life?
9 for Turner in his return after missing the Minnesota game with a thigh bruise. Smith, he'll attack. Gets into the lane. No, the follow, yes.
Terrific activity by Justin Smith, not giving up on the play. This is some move here by A.J. Turner, who's been in an offensive slump all season. I don't know if it's a slump if it lasts for over 2 months. He's made some timely buckets tonight.
And to shoot for Spencer. 7 on the shot clock.
Much better ball screen defense by Indiana.
Here's Young. No, the tip is there for Robbie Barron. Will you give Young an assist on that? Franklin answers. And now a little back and forth action for these two teams down the stretch.
Welcome to the Big Ten, everybody.
No easy nights in this league.
No pillows allowed.
So at last night on BTN, when Iowa went into Lincoln and lost to Nebraska, Northwestern has given Indiana all they wanted and more tonight. Kopp for 3. Oh, a big bucket for Miller Kopp.
Great extra pass by Ryan Young.
3-point lead for the Cats on the road. They've never started 0-4 in Big Ten play under Chris Clemens. Can they avoid it in Bloomington? Jackson Davis, baseline, blocked inside by Barron. Aggressive play for the freshman. 4 fouls, and he goes up and gets the rejection.
Al Durham's at the scorer's table. There's going to be a media timeout next whistle.
Turner spins. Turner fouled by Finnessy. 4th foul on Finnessy and a timeout.
As thin as it is, so got to close it out if you're Northwestern, and making foul shots is the best way to do it.
And for the first time this year, A.J. Turner is in double figures. 10 points tonight for A.J. Turner on a night they desperately needed him to play like he did last year. A.J. Turner has delivered. He's got 11.
Especially how he played at Boston College.
Big night for Turner.
The leading returning scorer for this team.
Durham and Finnessy together in the backcourt now for Indiana. 15 to shoot for Justin Smith. There's Brunk, double figures in rebounds for the 4th straight game. 8 to shoot for Finnessy as he leans in. The tip by Smith. And a good follow for Justin Smith to bring Indiana back within 3.
The only reason Indiana has a chance to win this game is because of Justin Smith's activity on the offensive glass. That plus the defense of Al Durham. He's now matched up on Turner. Finnessy on Spencer.
Finnessy with 4 fouls. 2.5 to go.
I kind of like Durham on Spencer, to be honest.
Now Spencer picked up on a switch by Brunk.
He's got to beat him off the dribble.
There he goes.
Oh.
Picked away by Justin Smith.
Justin Smith.
The lob ahead to Smith. Catches, finishes, and a foul.
Justin Smith has had a terrific last few minutes here. Good job by Spencer to recognize the mismatch with Brunk and beat him off the dribble, but Smith poked him from behind. Durham throws it ahead, and the finish, and one.
Third foul on Kopp. Smith 2 for 4 at the line tonight. He's got 17 points, 6 rebounds. He'd averaged 8 points per game over the last 5, but Justin Smith has tied this game at 59 with 2:15 to go.
Give Indiana credit. Showing their fight. Sometimes you just got to fight.
Kopp, up shot, broke the rebound.
And a quick shot, unlike them tonight. One of the earliest shots they've taken all night.
Trace Jackson Davis is going to go to the line, looking to give Indiana. And the Hoosiers lead for the first time since the 1:20 mark in the first half. 60-59. They were down 50-40 in the second half, and since that time, a 21-9 surge to take the 2-point lead.
They've made 15 free throws tonight. That's been huge.
Northwestern has made 7. Spencer kicks to Nance for 3. Got a good look, but cannot finish, and broke with the rebound.
Good look, but not the guy you want shooting that in that moment.
Northwestern does not need to foul. Plenty of time. Just a 2-point game. Tennessee probing, lobbing, Jackson Davis, 4-point Indiana lead, and a timeout for the Wildcats.
Put a team on your shoulders. Very few guys are capable of doing that.
And the Wildcats find a late burst to get back even. Down 4. Where will the offense come from? Turner will try. Long on the 3. Rebound tipped out by Noah Kopp. Good play by Kopp. 1 minute to go. Turner on the attack. Fouled, and he'll go to the line. Bronx first.
Nice job by A.J. Turner attacking. Little pep in his step tonight. Saw the seam. I'm not sure where the foul was.
Only thing you can think of is the left hand of Bronx.
I mean,
maybe.
It was... Nobody touched him, I don't think. The fans agree with me.
Yes,
so
they do. Yes.
I must be right.
You're playing to the crowd here. One more for Turner. And it's not been a terrific start to the season in the senior year of A.J. Turner. But A.J. Turner has done some good stuff tonight. Watch the foul again.
Watch it till the end.
Is it there with the left hand? Kind of got him on the shoulder, maybe?
That's play on.
1 for 2. Turner battling for his own rebound, but it goes to Tennessee. 3-point game. Indiana with 50 seconds remaining in Bloomington.
What a huge 50-50 ball. That was big time.
Tennessee around the screen of Jackson Davis. Now looking inside.
Giving room.
Talented freshman going to work the double comes. 4 to shoot. Tennessee, 1 on the shot clock, and he throws it off the leg of Northwestern and out of bounds, but it's a shot clock violation. And the
manager
diving in front of us to save us.
And again, Northwestern does not need a 3. Just get a good shot.
Spencer will bring it up. Turner. 18 seconds. He'll try the 3. Will Nance off the mark, and Trace Jackson Davis is fouled with 10.5 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's just losing your patience. That's a 29% three-point shooter on a contested 3 a little early in the shot clock.
1 for 9 from the floor tonight, and 1 of 6 from 3 for Nance.
I mean, give Indiana's defense credit. They're clamping down on Kopp, who's their best three-point shooter. And they have done, I'll tell you what, Archie Miller has done a terrific job with his defensive adjustments on Pat Spencer. That kid was dominating the game the first 13 minutes of the second half. Al Durham and Rob Tennessee made him disappear.
You can't understate the impact Al Durham had on this game in the second half.
I'll tell you what, man, you want to talk about a sigh of relief from Indiana fans? Assuming they pull this out, don't foul a three-point shooter, whatever you do.
Spencer Just going to give it off to Young. Young will drive it up. Can't get it to go. Got it back. And it's a 2-point game. And Chris Collins will take a timeout with one. Finney. Inbound comes to Durham. Fouled with 1.1 seconds remaining. Northwestern is out of timeouts. Second foul on Greer means Durham to the line for a pair. He's an 84% foul shooter. And he's 9 of 10 tonight. Again, what a second half Aljamain Durham has had for this Indiana team.
Player of the game. Switching him on Pat Spencer was the move that resurrected Indiana.
Still within reach for Northwestern. This one consulted away.
Well, if you're Northwestern, you don't like to talk about moral victories. This is a heartbreaking loss. I mean, you had a chance to steal one in Assembly Hall, and it got away from you. That's not going to be a fun trip back to Chicago.
And it's going to be an Indiana win. 66-62. The Hoosiers by 4. Turner's three-quarter court heave well short, and the Hoosiers